أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله أوله بلا أول كان قبل وآخره بلا آخر يكون بعده الذي قصرت عن رؤيته أبصار الناظرين وأجزت عن نعته أوهام الواصفين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب الله رب العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال أمير المؤمنين في مناجاة شعبانية: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلهي لا ترد حاجتي ولا تخيب طمعي ولا تقطع منك رجائي وأملي. O God, do not reject my request. Ilahi la tarudda hajati. Rad. Do not. La tarudda hajati. My hajat. Wala tuqayyab tam'i. And do not fail my tam', my hope. No. I have hope in you, so do not fail this. If you don't give me, my hope that I have will be failed. Wala taqta minka rajai. I have hope, raja, ruju, right? I have this hope in you, right? Big hope. Do not really fail this. Do not reject my request. Tarudda hajati, and do not fail my hope, my my greed in you. Wala taqta minka rajai. Tam and raja are quite similar. One is hope, which have the element of, one is tam, which is greed, which have the element of hope. So Amir al-Mu'minin uses both angles, and inshallah we'll look at it, the minor differences that there is. Wala taqta minka rajai, and it adds up with amali, and do not disappoint my desire. I have this desire, I have this. Do not disappoint it. Okay, this is verse number 28 from Munajat Shabaniya, which we are really examining it very closely to have the understanding of our presentation to our Lord. How shall we present our munajat, our najwa, our call, our whispering with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's pointing out to that reality of who God is and who man is. If one come to the realization of insan wa haqiqat insan, the reality of a human being is what? Then one will come to the understanding of the haqiqat Khudawan Muta'al, who our Lord is. Man arafa nafsa faqad arafa Rabba. A person who recognizes, have the ma'rifat of the soul, he will have the ma'rifat of the Lord. So this munajat of Shabaniya, as we have discussed from the very beginning, from verse number 1, wasma du'a idha da'utuk, till now 28, it is all different folds of ma'rifat of Allah and ma'rifat of abd in it. Different perspectives in regards to different perspectives in regards to the ma'rifat of the nafs and ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's pointing out to these different perspectives that is in there. Last week we talked about O God, I submit to you the apology. Ilahi i'tidari ilayka i'tidaru. That apology that one is asking, and in that we mentioned that Allah is expecting, Allah is leaving the door open for us to really return back to Him, right? It says that afala yatubuna ila Allah, will you not do the tawbah towards Allah? Wa yastaghfirunahu, and He will be the of forgiving, He will forgive you. Wallahu ghafurur rahim, right? We talked about that, and this comes about with the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the amount of ma'rifah and the i'tidar, the apology, and seeking an apology in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is keeping in mind the maqam of God, the reality of God. If we have understood fully, and if we have taken care of our rights towards God, then God will take care of things that is for us, between us and the creation. Man aslaha, this was the hadith. I'm just giving you a brief from last week. Man aslaha ma baynahu wa bayn Allah, a person who rectifies the account between me and God. Oh Allah, you said this is haram. I'm controlling myself. I'm not watching this. I'm not speaking this. I'm not eating this. I'm not tasting this. I'm not hearing this. I'm trying. I'm not a masoom. Shaitan, traps me. But still, the tawbah, I have this hope in you. Right? So I am struggling and trying. Right? So man aslaha, a one who rectifies between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa aslahu Allah baynahu wa baynan nas, and Allah will rectify the account between him and others. Right. Now we pointed out to a very important point, and that was this, that if I take care, or if I keep Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reality and his maqam and his azamat and his greatness in my heart, then I will not trespass the rights of others, and God will provide me with an opportunity to take care of the rights of others in the most profound and the most beautiful way. And we mentioned the story of Ayatollah Marashi Najafi, because Ayatollah Marashi Najafi had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his heart. He has rectified his affair between him and Allah. Now, he has to fulfill a responsibility that the mother is calling, he has to wake up the father. Now, as his account is very clear with God, God inspired him. God taught him, as they say, that, ittaqullah, if you have taqwa of God, if you be God wary, wa yu'allimukumullah, Allah will teach you. So if I am God wary, if I am God conscious, if I remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time, then Allah will teach me in the best way possible. Now here I am Marashi Najafi, who have God in his heart, and Allah is teaching him how to wake up his father, how to fulfill his responsibility towards Nas, because his account with God is clear. Man aslaha ma baynahu wa bayn Allah. Then as his account is clear with God, God is putting him in his mind that put your face on the feet of your father to wake him up. You see? So Allah takes care of the people, right? So therefore, if we have Allah in our heart, then we know what Allah wants from us in regards to my elders, in regards to my seniors. If I have God in my heart. If I don't have God in my heart, then I will behave in the most rude way. I will backbite. I will do, cheat. I will steal. And then later on, I will be seeking an apology from them, not from God. I will become little in the eyes of the people, because I have gone against the right of God, because I have gone against the right which God have put in regards to them. For example, just a very quick example, I don't want to, stuck here. For example, stealing is bad. God says it's haram. Now I steal something, I cheat, right? And then when I cheat and when I steal, by not keeping God in my heart, in my mind, I will be seeking an apology from him. So I have become very little from the person that I have cheated, because I will realize sooner or later, I will remember God, I will ask Allah, because there is Jahannam, because I am going to die, because I will become weak, I have that soul, that consciousness in me. Sooner or later I will realize that. So when I realize that, I will be little in front of the person I have cheated. But in reality, the maqam insan is Khalifatullah. He should not be little in front of a human being. Yes, he should be little in front of God. So, but if I keep God in mind, I would not have done that. I would have not have fallen into my humanity, into my insaniyat, into my waqar and ghurur, which is positive one, not ghurur in the negative one. Positive man being an insan and believer of God, being a mu'min. So I will not be kuchik, I will not be little in front of this person because I have cheated him. Why did I cheated him? Because I did not kept God in my heart. I did not remember God. So now two things happen. One, I broke the connection with God, and number two, I also, became little in front of this man who I cheated, right? So if I keep Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in my heart, and then I will basically be someone whose affair with the people will be taken care. Now, we have to look at from other point of view as well. Yes, because it's very important. Always we tend to think that we are right and they are wrong. This is a typical thing. Always whenever I see my face in the mirror, I am beautiful, right? Because that's ego, that's nafs. We love ourselves, it's natural. Munajat Shakin of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, where he talks about, I love myself, it's natural, right? So therefore, when I am giving this example that, I have done this wrong to someone else, we will think that, okay, we are right and they have done wrong. Now, just I'll point out to you the other angle of it. Okay, for example, you have cheated me. You have done against me. You have spoken against me. You have backbited against me. You have defamed me. You have taken, whatever from me, loan or whatever. Now, if I behave the same way that you have behaved, I will belittle myself in front of you. For example, if you cheated me, okay, you cheated me. That doesn't mean that I go and speak to everybody. Oh, this brother, this is what he has done to me. Right? There is no need for that. You have to keep Ya Sattarul Uyub. The aib of people should be kept close in my heart. I don't have the right to go and speak in front of others. Many a times it is my shak, my doubt, my judgment. Oh, look at that. Which is, for example, I saw something which was not right of somebody, or what he has done to me unintentionally, maybe, for example. Then I say, oh, this is what he did. This is what he did. So now I have to keep God in mind. I could become the same person who have cheated me. Yes, he has cheated me, but I have to keep my heart wasi. The habit of the Prophet was in Sunanun Nabi of Allama Tabatabai, in chapter number 2, where he talks about how Prophet relationship was with people. He says Prophet was always forgiving. Prophet heart was very big. He forgive. That's how the Ahl Bayt were. Ibn Muljam, if you look at it, and other enemies as well, right? So therefore, we have to look at from all perspectives. That's our name of the program, right? Today, it's for some reason it's coming over and over again, right? We have to look at from all perspective, from the perspective of me committing something, from the perspective of me, somebody have done against me, and how I will react to that. Somebody said bad words to me. That doesn't mean I have the right to say bad words to him as well. Right? Somebody, spit on me. Somebody called me, I don't know, they were angry. They said, you are a, bad words, haramzadeh or something like that, bad things. Then I get angry, I say the same thing. No, that's not right. Sometimes we go very, Somebody, we catch a person stealing. Oh, we started hitting him, beating him, take the shoes off. You know, in the life of one of the Imams, I don't remember the name exactly now, the chicken or the sheep of Imam was stolen by somebody from his house. They caught the thief and they pulled him and they hit him hard and brought him bleeding in front of the Imam. Imam said, "What? Why did you do that? There is a limit. There is a proper way of behavior. Who gave you that right to do in that fashion?" Right? Well, he has done he has stolen my property. It's my right that maybe I can forgive him. Maybe I can, take back from him money or whatever. But you have caught him, doesn't mean that you hit him, doesn't mean that you defame him, doesn't mean that. So we have to be very careful. That is Islam, where we focus on all the different perspectives. And when we have these perspective of things, then we behave in the best way possible, right? Okay, now let's move on. I'm really sorry to take your time, but we have to go to verse number 28. Ilahi la taruddu hajati. Do not really, reject my hajat, right? This means that I have to ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all of my hajat. We should never be shy in front of God. Ask for little things. Ya Musa, God says to Musa, even the salt that you put in your soup, ask from God. See how relationship of us and God should be. To really point out to that we are nothing. Yes, we cook, we do things very quickly. We have a sense of ownership. We are like the owner, for example. But if we keep on reminding us that no, this is not ours. This food that is given is from God. The health that is from God. I will be careful in terms of taking care of my health. I will be careful every time when I'm doing something. I will be remembering God. So therefore, yas'alu lahu man fis samawati wal ard. Whatsoever is in the heaven and earth, they are seeking God. They are asking God. So we have to consciously ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Insan by nature is in need, is muhtaj. And by nature he is asking. Metaphysically speaking, takwinan, from that takwini point of view, yas'alu lahu man fis samawat. It means that whatsoever, my nails, my atom, my body, my hands, my mind, my everything, whatsoever is in the heaven and earth, they are seeking God. They are asking God for their hajat. Consciously, I might not be doing it, but unconsciously, that's what is happening. So I need to match, I need to bring closer my consciousness to this unconscious that is in me. Right? That essence of insan is faqr. Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara ila Allah. O nas, O people, you are faqir towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore now we have to ask for little things. Even that salt that you put in the soup, Ya Musa, ask. Even the hay that you put for your sheep, for your sheep, you ask. Ask God for it. Right. Kulla yawmin huwa fi shan. That's how Allah is. In every instance, He is active, giving. Because, when somebody is asking, He is providing all the time. That's how God is. Every day, every second, every inch. He is khaliq. He is the provider, right? Adu'uni astajib lakum. seek me, ask me, and I will answer you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ إِبَادَتِي سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمَ دَاخِرِينَ. Ask Allah and Allah will accept, and those who do istikbar, those who are arrogant, they will enter Jahannam. So therefore one have to really seek God, but the point is with the conditions of a seeker. Every seeker, every person who is asking have certain elements and conditions that he has to fulfill, right? For it to really reach its fruit. Every seed that you plant, the tree will come. Everybody agree? Everybody agree. But there has to be conditions for that plant to give the fruit. It has some conditions for that seed to really start growing up. You have to water it, the land should be good, right? The sunlight should be there, all is there. You have to basically take care it from animals eating it, or germs eating it, so that it eventually should give that fruit. So dua, ad'uni astajib lakum, God will answer it, but there are certain conditions. Every prayer is answered. The same way everything is seeking God. Yas'alu lahu ma fis samawati wal, everything is seeking. People who doesn't believe in God, they don't do dua, they don't do namaz, salat, whatever, but still they are seeking. God is saying that. So the same way, ad'uni astajib lakum, if you ask God, God will give you, no doubt. But in terms of the zahir and batin, there has to be some inner conditions of a seeker that should be laid, and then God will really provide the fruit of this dua, right? The fruit of this, those conditions needs to be there. Now, let me give you an example. Sometimes we ask and we don't see the fruit. For example, oh, I did everything. Baba Jan, Abul Fazl Abbas. Who is Abul Faz and who is me? Abdus Saleh, Muti'u lillahi wa li rasulih. Ibn Amirul Mu'mineen, that's what we recite in ziyarat, right? He has hajat. Adu'uni astajib lakum. You seek, you ask, and I will give you. Abul Faz have hajat. From the worldly point of view, this hajat was not granted. But from the ukhrawi point of view, Abul Faz becomes the life for all awliya. Water is the source of life, and Abul Fazl becomes the source of life for all of awliya. That's why Sayyid Ali Qazi, I had mentioned this, Mirza Ali Qazi Tabatabai, Ustad Allama Tabatabai, oh, mountain of Tawheed, as Allama Tabatabai says. He says, Abul Fazl Kabe awliyast. Abul Fazl is the Kaaba of the awliya, right? When we go to Hajj, we go around the Kaaba, around the Mecca, around the Kaaba, the house of God. Abul Fazl have become that symbol of house of God, where our du'as, where our direction of our qibla, of our ta'at, ibadat, of our awliya, he is the source of that. Okay, now here, going back, not to go too much into margins. Adu'uni astajib lakum. Everything you ask and I will give you, right? But to be given, there are certain conditions in me that should be fulfilled. And those conditions is that realization of my faqr, of my need, right? And then one must realize that Allah is the giver. Now when I ask with that intention, it will be given. Now if it is not given in the dunya, I know that I am faqir, and I know that Allah is the one who fulfilled the promise. So I will be, doesn't care much if it is given in the dunya or if it is not given. Astajib lakum. God have accepted it. You ask for it. You ask for it, God will give it. So now the realization of this, that God will give regardless of what, right, is because of that condition I need to have in my heart. I need to have in me that God is the giver and I am in need and I will ask Him. And if I don't get it, okay, I did not get it here in the dunya, but I know I will have the fruit of it in the hereafter because He is the giver. This answer is coming to my heart or to my mind because I have fulfilled that condition of realization that I am nothing and God is everything. Do you see the point? Right? So therefore that is very, very. قُلْ يَعْبَوْ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاءَكُمْ. Tell, قُلْ, if it was not for your dua, I would not have looked towards you. Hazrat Ibrahim mentions this in one of the ayahs of the Quran. He says that if you don't do dua, he wouldn't have. The Prophet have said that the best of ibadat is dua. When God have given the permission to the abd to do dua, God have opened the door of rahmat towards him. A person who does dua is not doomed, is not halak. He is not destroyed. So therefore the best of ibadat is dua. Because salat, if you look at it, salat was known as dua in Arabic, then it changed into a, and even salat itself is dua. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een, right? Is dua, right? Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, guide me. It's all dua. Imam Baqir alayhi salam, your little hajat, your little requirements, do not regard them as little, because the most mahbub, the most lovable mu'mineen are those who seek for little hajat. What a beautiful hadith. Let's give you a perspective of this. Let's analyze this. Imam says, your little hajat, do not think that it is a little hajat. You are having food, just a little bit of salt would be good, right? That's little hajat. So Imam says, do not think that this is little or something little, right? Do not think that this is little, because Allah loves those who ask God for little things. Wow. For big things we are saying, oh Allah, please give, and we want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? But we are keeping Allah in mind even for little things as well. And Allah says, I love those who keep me in their heart, in their mind, even for little things. Not that they think, oh, I can do it. No, they say they rely on God and Allah loves them. How beautiful the Imam have mentioned, right? Very nice. So, Ilahi la tarudda hajati wa la tuqayyab tam'i. Right? Do not really reject my request. Do not fail my big hope. Do not disappoint me and my desire. Right? One should never, wala taqta minka rajai amali. One should never be, as it says, that one should never be hopeless in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One should always be hopeful. And see, let me give you a point here. Being hopeful, having hope, is a divine act. Having hope, umid, is a divine act. Why do I say that? Because God have hope. God have hope. Now there is a difference in hope of God and hope of me. God is sabir. God does sabr. But there is a difference in the sabr of God in the sabr of me. God is sabr for what? We say, okay, I'm doing sabr. Sabr in front of what? Musibat. Sabr in front of what? Bala. Sabr in front of what? Masiyat. As they say, there are 3 levels of sabr, right? But God doesn't, na'uzubillah, have any bala on him that he does sabr. God does not have any masiyat, na'uzubillah, that he does sabr. God does not have any imtihan, na'uzubillah, that he does sabr. Right? So God, the way God does sabr is different to way I do sabr. But sabr itself, the phenomena, the reality, the haqiqat sabr is positive. Right? The same way. Hope, umeed, raja is a positive thing. God is hopeful. Not that he will get something. He is kamil, he is perfect, he does not need anything. The way God is hopeful is different. The hope of God is in humanity, is in insaniyat, that perhaps they come back to me, perhaps they return to me after the sins and gunas that they have done, they return to me. That's why to that last second and last minute, Imam Hussein had hope. I am the son of Zahra. I am the grandson of the Prophet, only grandson left of the Prophet. I have done anything against you. Do not kill me. Hope. Not hope that his life will be safe, just like the hope of God. The Umeed Hussein, the hope of Hussein, the Raja of Hussein, the hope of Hussein is like the hope of God from humanity. Right? Not God have hope that, do not do, for example, give me something, no, not that hope. Forgive me, not that hope. The hope of that the bande, that the insan returns to God. So Hussein is saying that I am the grandson of Prophet. Why do you want to commit this sin? Be a human being. I am the one who Prophet says, Sayyada Shabab Ahl al Jannah, O Musalman, O Muslims. If you do that, not that I want to live, I am ready to die for the love of God, in the ishq of God. Life is not matter to me, right? But I don't want you to be in trouble. I don't want you to suffer and enter Jahannam by killing me, by murdering me. He's reminding, he has hope. Shimmer on the chest of Hussein. I guarantee you, shimmer, Shafaat Rasulullah. I guarantee you. Hope you and I, will pray all year just to have one dream of Hussein, where Imam Hussein says, oh Abbas, oh Zain, I guarantee you Shafaat, don't worry, we will die for it. We are the lovers of Hussein. We have the love of Hussein. He has a shimmer on the chest of Hussein. He says, I guarantee you Shafaat, don't do this. Hussein have hope. Musa, what was Pharaoh saying when he was drowning in the sea? God asked Musa. Musa said, Pharaoh was asking for help. Save me. Then God said, Musa, if I was in your shoes, if I was there, I would have saved him, Musa. God have hope in humanity, in insaniyat. In Pharaoh, he still have hope. Yes, I will save him. Then maybe he does tawbah. Maybe he come to me. So hope is very important, to have that hope. And the hope of God, because hope itself is positive, is a divine reality, is a divine phenomena, like I said. God have hope, we also have hope. So we should have that divine quality in us to be perfect. We have to have that divine quality in us. Masumin the same way. Imam Zaman, may Allah haste his reappearance. He has hope in us. My lovers are there. My helpers are there. People who say, "Oh Imam, we love you. Oh Imam, my nafs be sacrificed to you. My ruhi wa arwahi li maqdamihim al-fida," as we say. Our ruh and the arwah be sacrificed by maqdam, by khadam shuma, by feet of yours. Imam Zaman says that. He has hope in us. He expects that we be good mu'mineen, that we don't break people's heart, we take care of the people, we be kind to others, the same way how Imam is kind, how Imams and how his Jad were kind. I will end up with a story. These Imams and the awliya are those who are very kind to all of creation. They are very kind. Their hearts are very big. Allama Tabatabai, in one of the interview of daughter of Allama Tabatabai, says that my father was so kind to children, to the small children. And she says that I have never ever been told off by my father. My mother, would try to, for example, if I do something, but my father I have never seen that he may have said something, to tell us off. Very kind. Imam Khomeini, said, I think Sayyid Hassan Khomeini in one of the interview mentions this, that, his grandmother have mentioned this. When Imam Khomeini used to go outside, when he used to come back home, he would tell, "Oh, I saw this child, this little child, I did, shokhi, joked with him, I pulled his cheek, and they were very kind to children, to people." And he would say that, they have written that when after the revolution, when he used to give a speech, people used to come from different places with small children. Many times he's giving a speech, a child cries there, a child is over there. If you look at YouTube videos, you will find this, right? And then after his speech, when he goes back to his room, he will inquire, these people all come from different places with small children. I don't know, is that child who was crying, is he okay now? Why was he crying? He will inquire about them because their hearts are very soft. One of the things that happen to us today is because our hearts have become very hard. We are hard-hearted now. There is no room for others, but there is only room for ourselves. Our Instagrams are full with pictures of ourselves and of our fashion. There is no picture in our Instagram of maybe my grandfather who died, maybe of somebody else. Our hearts are filled with our ego. When our nafs is filled with our own self, it becomes very hard. If the society becomes capitalistic, the society becomes very harsh and hard. At least if the society is socialist, it is a bit soft. Right? If the society is communist, it's still there is room. Yes, they will be very harsh in terms of their ideology. I'm not talking about that. Don't take me wrong. But in general, I'm talking about, right? Capitalist society is focused towards, ego. It becomes very harsh and hard, and we see the imbalance today. If the society becomes ilahi, becomes divine, becomes religious, it's very soft, right? Because it cares for humanity. It cares that this nature is amanat and will not do something that will destroy the nature, cut the trees, destroy the ozone layer, destroy the water in the sea to dump there, because it is amanat of God. Right? Anyway, Allama Tabatabai, I want to end with that, right? His daughter mentions in the interview that she was very soft. His teacher as well, Agha Sayyid Ali Qazi, Mirza Ali Qazi Tabatabai, when namaz shab, he used to go to Masjid al-Sahla. The Khadim apparently have mentioned this, that when he used to go to do to do wudu in the pound, there were animals sleeping, he will take his shoes off so that the cat does not get disturbed. Allama says that at night one of the cats fell into the well of Allama and was making meow meow, was shouting, trying to come out of the well. Allama was walking in his room that how can he really save this cat? What shall he do? He couldn't sleep at night. And he says, in the morning, go and bring someone who would dig another well from the side and somehow bring the cat out. And he was worried, and he brought someone to do that. These are the ulama, these are the urafa, these are the true believers of Imam Zaman. If their heart is so soft, the ulama of our scholars is so soft, imagine the heart of Imam Zaman. Now, will you and I will tell myself first, am I going to hurt the heart of such a person, that who is so kind and soft? How can I imagine to do that? But when I commit a sin, when I do something wrong, when I badmouth, when I backbite, when I blame people, when I tell people off, when I judge people, what is happening to the heart of Imam Zaman? So we got to be very careful. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength and tawfiq to be the ointment of the heart. As Hafiz says, Sine mala male dardas. The heart is full and full of pain. Ay dariqa marhami. Or the tabib, the doctor, is there an ointment for the heart? Dil zatanahai bejan ayat. My heart, because of loneliness, have come to the verge of giving life. Khudaya hamdami. Oh my Lord, is there hamdam? Is there someone who would share the loneliness of my heart? غفر الله لنا ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you very much for watching us, and we hope to see you next week again. Goodbye.